Recipe number 1, Geemo Bannock. So before we even start making this, what's that part of your food story?
So Geemo Bannock is the name of the person whose recipe this Bannock recipe is. So his name is Chris Guimond, and he is from Saagkeeng First Nation, which is located at the southern part of Lake Winnipeg and Treaty 1 territory. So I'm honored to be able to share this recipe on his behalf today.
It's an honor. Thank you for bringing it to us and sharing it with us. Okay, so where do we get started? Because this is, and every Bannock recipe is just a little bit different. They're all not the same.
Different. Yeah. There's no right way to do Bannock.
All right.
But this recipe is very special. So we start with our 3 cups of flour in our bowl, and then we're going to be adding in our dry ingredients. So we have baking powder.
Okay.
Then we also have salt, 2 teaspoons going in. Then we're going to whisk those to combine.
Okay.
All of our ingredients. Then we're moving on to our 2% milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have 3 cups of milk. And you can make a little well in the middle as well as you're going through your Bannock here. This milk adds a nice fluffy consistency to our Bannock.
Does it matter 1%, 2%?
I was told 2% for this recipe, so I'm sticking to it.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And what we're gonna do is it should look like a pancake batter. So some people might go, oh my God, that's really wet. That's okay, because as you can see, we have some flour on the side here as well.
Yeah. And we have, this is kind of an interesting technique that we're going to be, well, I don't want to give away the name. You go ahead. It's
not a secret,
what is this?
yeah.
No, but it's like, okay, what is choking the dough?
Choking the dough,
which I've never heard of before, so.
Yeah, so that technique was actually taught to me by Chris, but that originally came from his grandmother.
Okay.
So choking the dough is essentially, we're gonna be adding 1 cup of flour at a time. So you can start with that.
So it doesn't have to be an exact, because I know that's okay. So just gonna pop that in there?
Pop it in there,
All
yeah.
right.
And I'm gonna switch actually to a wooden spoon at this point.
Okay.
And all we're gonna do is just keep combining. So I'll let you know when I'm ready for your next one.
Okay.
Reason being is because you want to kind of base it on, there's a few different things. So the moisture in the air, the climate. By adding it gradually, what we're doing is kind of giving us some time to see how much more we need.
See what's going to happen.
Yes,
okay.
right? Because we don't want to be super dry.
No.
So you can add again here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you started out with the consistency of a pancake batter, but where do you want to end up? Like a really wet dough still, or?
Not extremely wet, but definitely a formed ball that we're going to be, so you can add again here, yeah. And we're going to be adding it to the counter with lightly floured surface.
Okay.
So yeah, you're good to go here. I would say we're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, so it's going to be going to a nice dough ball formed. You can lightly dust your hands with flour as well, bring it to the surface.
Okay.
And we're going to, because we're making 2 variations of that Bannock today, we'll cut that dough ball in half and we're going to press it onto our pans here.
So this is what it looks like once you've got it all done and separated out. Okay.
Yeah.
And but before we put it in the oven, we have something that we need to do. Okay. Yeah. So there's yours and there's mine. Yeah. So we're poking holes in it, right?
We're poking holes in it, yes.
So lots
all throughout. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And then,
what's the purpose of that? Just to kind of let
the gases out as it cooks. Okay. Kind of like scoring your bread, similar technique.
Okay.
And then we're putting this in the oven at 400.
Okay. So we got a couple to go in there. So why don't I open that for you?
Beautiful.
Okay.
So 400, 15 minutes.
And then you turn them at that point?
At that 15-minute mark, we turn it. 5 minutes the other side.
Okay.
And then.
Okay, there's 1.
Perfect.
And there's 2.
So they're lightly browned.
Yes, they are so, well, I mean, they smell absolutely incredible. And then, well, I mean, you just want to like dig into it right away, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's not mince words here. But we're not going to do that with our Geemo Bannock. What we're going to do is come back in a second here with recipe number 2, which is just an absolutely delectable sounding flavored butter here on our food story tonight. Great Tastes of Manitoba. Don't go away.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by the Government of Canada and Manitoba Agriculture and Resource Development through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership.